recording.
I've never heard of this before, but it kind of looks like that anime, Utena.
Never heard
Have
of
you
it.
seen
Oh, Thirsty
Revolutionary
Sword
Girl,
Lesbians. Gotcha.
Utena? Yeah, the Thirsty Sword Lesbians.
Yeah.
I'm just looking at the cover of the book, and I'm just like, huh, I've
I don't
never
know.
seen this before,
It
but it
looks
looks like
cool.
that anime.
I follow one of the artists of it on Twitter, and they always seem fun. So, I don't know. Very cool, very interesting. But Joe, yeah, if you're listening, I think you'd be a great fit for a thirsty sword lesbian at our table. So just shoot me a DM on Discord, and we'll get that sorted. But all right, gang. I think my notes are on screen. That can't happen. No, you guys can't see my secret notes. Actually, there's nothing on here that's that secret. You guys are gonna learn pretty much everything in these notes tonight.
Just imagine the White House staff having all discords.
It's like it's like a Discord that like they just share like government secrets and like in like a Discord. They're like, yo, just bombed some children in like Iraq. Anyways, here's a fun Pepe meme, and then like they just kind of go on with their days.
share memes that only they understand.
Yeah, just put like weird gifs. There we go. All right, look at that. We're all in the roll 20 except for me. I'm the odd one out. All right. Well, I guess we'll do since now everybody's here. I'll ask one more time just to get it out there. How was everybody's week? Everybody have a good week? Good, bad, ugly?
I don't remember this week.
It's over now, and that's what counts.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Fair enough. That's good to hear. That's good to hear.
I got a story to tell.
Tell it,
My
man.
tortoise decided to be a little shit, and so he blew up. Like,
What?
He blew up?
Right. His
Yeah,
right leg
Okay.
swelled up really big,
Oh,
and I was
no.
like, well, there's something wrong there. So, because my tortoise is like 2 feet by like 2.5 feet. He's
Good lord.
big.
Wow.
And so I had to take him inside and soak him in warm water for like 2 hours.
Does that
And
diffuse the
then
tortoise?
Essentially what I think is wrong with him is that he's not hydrated enough. He's dehydrated, so his body is backed up and deciding not to play nice. So the first night he took a big poop in the water. Yeah, and then so I put him in
One
a
does.
house.
Okay, wait.
House.
I have to ask. I just now thought of this question, and I promise this is the weirdest question you'll ever get about your turtle. Are you ready to answer it?
Let's do it.
Is turtle poop more similar to like mammal poop or bird poop?
It is more similar to elephant poop.
I've never seen elephant poop, so put it.
It's very grassy, and it's condensed wet grass is what it looks like.
Okay, all right.
God.
All right, because I was picturing like bird poo, like how it's like white and weird and gross.
It does get that if they've had too much sugar or calcium, their body will expel a white curdy substance.
Ooh.
That is
you
essentially just
pretzels.
calcium and sugar. I'm sorry.
Well, that's neat. Anyways, continue.
I've learned a lot about poop tonight.
Phrases I never knew I didn't want to hear.
Moral of the story is I've soaked him like twice now. The swelling has deflated a little bit, but he's still stressing me out. So
Oh, that's weird, man.
What's the tortoise name?
his name is Leo.
Oh, I love
I also have
him.
another tortoise that's relatively about the size of a.
How have you never
basketball.
shared these tortoises
Yeah, right?
with
Like,
us?
I've never
heard that
them.
you
Well,
had these. Like
We've showed a picture of him. once.
No,
No,
you've never showed a
never.
picture. I didn't know you had a tortoise until literally 5 minutes ago.
Yeah, they're
Yes.
both outside tortoises. One's name is Leo. The other one's
Outside
name is Monkey.
tortoises.
Yeah, they.
As
just live
opposed to
in the
inside
backyard.
tortoises.
I mean,
Yeah,
my friend
well,
has an inside tortoise that he has a whole room. I mean, or at least they did. I don't know if they do anymore. They just had a whole room in their house that was just like covered in a tarp on the floor and hay
Yeah.
and like a baby pool, and then it just had a tortoise in it.
Yeah. Well, here it normally doesn't get too cold for them, so they just sleep outside and they have their little house.
I guess they can't escape. guess I didn't.
Yeah, we just have a big fence, and then we have a chain link fence to like give them their own little areas because they don't like each other. And so, yeah, my baby tortoise doesn't really care about the other one, but the other one is hyper aggressive towards Leo.
Oh,
So we have
gosh.
to keep them separate.
Why did you get into tortoising?
They were gifts.
They were gifts. Who gave you?
Were they gifts at the same time? That's what I wanna know.
So Leo actually came from a guy who has two other tortoises. One is actually twice the size of mine.
Ooh.
And
A 4-foot long tortoise?
yeah, mine
What
was
the Lion.
mine was fighting with the other
Please?
one his size and bullying it, so the bigger one would flip him over and just
Oh my
leave him there.
god.
What's
Yeah,
with these
because-
hyper aggressive tortoises?
Well,
The
That's
tortoise
what we
is
should-
like-
guys. That's what we
Yes.
should have done with Eric. Polymorph him into a tortoise and put him on
flip
his
him
back.
over.
Flip his ass over.
And so because he kept fighting with the other two, the guy was like, "All right, I got to get rid of him." So he just gave him to us, and
Here, you can have the problematic tortoise.
essentially that's what happened because at one point he rammed the other one his size with his little horn thing that he has under his neck and cut him open. So the
Oh
guy
my
had to spend
God.
like thousands of dollars to get him to fix him. So the guy was like, "No, you don't. You're out of here." And he just gave him to us, and he's been a lot chiller ever since. So
Well, that's very wild, and I am stunned, quite frankly, but also quite enamored with your tortoises.
Yeah.
Yes, please send tortoise pics.
Yeah, at some point
Yeah.
you've got to send us pictures of your tortoises. I demand that.
I'll make an attempt.
All right.
He's not very photogenic.
I was gonna
he
say they
likes
were
to-
hard to photograph. I was like, they're not fast. Like they're not moving around. You're not shooting a moving target there. You're picking.
They're pretty fast if you think about it. Like he moves pretty quickly. We're not allowed to leave him in the front yard because he'll be gone in like 30 minutes.
Oh my god. All right, well, that's wild. And I don't know. I didn't know much about tortoises until now, and now I've learned that they're hyper aggressive and they have weird poo. So I think that's
the males are hyper aggressive when it's like mating season.
Do they get along with other animals? Like, do you have a cat or anything that it like?
You have to keep them away from other animals in the sense that the other animals might attack them.
Oh,
But other
okay.
than that, no. If your animals are really chill, you can pretty much keep them together.
Okay. All right. All right. Well, enough tortoise talk. Enough tortoise talk. That's
No
it.
such thing.
Alright.
All right. Well, I guess my only other question before I start, if Kirsten is here, I just noticed that she said BRB just a minute ago, so she might not be here. But if she is here, I need an answer to a question I asked her last session. And if she is not here, then we'll skip that and we'll come back to her in a second and we'll do our last session recap. Which it sounds like she's not here. So, who wants to do a recap?
So, here's the thing. We finally killed the Dark Weaver. We finally killed motherfucking Eric. And then Harshnag took us back to the Prime. And we were like, yay, it's over. Barge right in is no more. And then Ava asked Harshnag to go to Mirabar ahead of us while we went to Neverwinter for Finch. And then on our way to Neverwinter, we found this statue with this riddle. And frickin' Finch solved the riddle in 0.5 seconds.
That still
And got
astounds
this
me, by the way. I was
beautiful-
rewatching that session, and I cannot describe the sheer level of surprise that I felt when she got that in 0.5 seconds. I was stunned.
Kirsten is a genius. So.
That's true. That's true. I mean, I was stunned, man. That really took me aback.
No.
Oh. My goodness.
That's when we first got him.
It's like literally the ones you see at the zoo, but in real life.
Is that like watermelon or something?
Yes, they love
I
watermelon,
thought
but they can't have
for
it
a
very
second-
often.
For a second, I thought there was a bow on its head.
I would have been okay with that.
Yeah, just give it a little hat or something, you know. Just make it, just doll them up.
Is
I'll
that
take
Leo?
more pictures later.
Yay.
Is this
Alright.
one Leo?
This is Leo, yes.
Ah.
I actually don't have pictures of the other one. I've never taken pictures. He was given to us by a random person who found him on the side of the road, and we're like, "You have a tortoise, have another one." And I was like,
I mean,
okay.
I guess.
Alright.
So yeah, Finch solved the riddle. She got this really cool short sword, silver short sword with a ruby pommel, and we tried to use it, and it turns out that it's sentient, but it only speaks old dwarvish. So we're
Old
spending
dwarfish.
time to create a Rosetta Stone on the road with Finch and Liddy. Was it Liddy who was helping her with that? I think it was Liddy.
so.
I think so,
And
yeah.
And then on our way down the road again, Helio found a lever and decided to pull the lever
Oh yeah,
several
I forgot
times.
about that.
And
Lever.
lots and lots of things came out of this, like I forget what it
It's a pipe. It was like
yeah,
a Mario pipe.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
a pipe in the ground.
Yeah. So the first thing
I didn't
that
think about
came
it that way,
out
but it was like a Mario pipe. I didn't actually think about
Yeah.
that.
was a small little baby something or other, but it quickly got absorbed by the sludge black pudding monster.
It's a kind way
And
to put it.
then what was the ice thing that came back? The ice
Ice Method.
method.
Yeah.
Method. And then a method came out, and then we fought the black pudding thing just buried itself down into the ground again. But we fought the method, right? Or
It's our pet now.
it's
Yes.
our pet now.
Yeah,
Oh,
you
yes,
have
it's
it.
part of the
You have it
menagerie.
in a
Captive.
jar. Yes, I actually added. I forgot to mention in Finch's Friends, I did add an ice method.
Oh, you gotta name him.
What? Did we name him?
What do you name him? What do you name the ice method?
Well, we have Jaro, but
I was
if we
gonna-
go with Mephisto or something.
I think Finch has a problem.
Mr. Mistopheles.
Mr. Please.
We'll figure out a name for
I was
the
gonna say
ice
you could
method.
also ask the ice method its name. It might have a name.
Nah.
Oh yeah.
Why would we do that?
So, Vesper wanted to destroy the lever so that nobody could pull it anymore, but as she did it, it got pulled one more time, and then something else. Oh, music started playing, and then we were just like, nope, we're done. So we started walking away, and that was
Yeah.
pretty much it.
All right. That sounds like a pretty good recap to me.
Exactly how I remember it.
Beautiful. Kirsten, really quick, do you have an answer to the question I asked you last session?
Yes.
You do. You should DM it to me, and then I will share some secret information with you, also via DM.
Super secret.
Secret. Very, very secret. That's right. I see you watching this recording later, looking at the secret information on screen. That's right, Joe.
I actually wanted to ask Kirsten because when I was listening to the session last night at work, just the first half of it. I didn't get a chance to finish it, but I just wanted to confirm because I remember you had asked her, did all of us see her with Yahala, like what happened with Yahala, or did Finch like purposefully like not want us to go into the ballroom with her?
As far as I'm aware, you guys were there, and like you saw the interaction. Like you guys were there.
Finch wouldn't mind.
I've got to find the thing I need. There it is. Okie dokie. With that out of the way, I think we will pick up where we left off. So, I think we left off just post pipe. I guess like that should be the new date that we mark our calendars with. There's BP and PP.
Post fight.
Yeah. But yes, you guys are just post pipe. You guys, it's I would say like midday ish, and you guys are getting ready to make the final. I think you guys were 1 day out from Red Larch. Yeah, about I think. Let me double check my notes because I think yes, you guys were 1 day out from Red Larch. And
Has been 31 days since Helio, Finch, and Vesper have known each other.
Adorable.
Aww.
Best friends.
Yeah.
1 day.
31 days.
Friends forever.
Friends forever.
Always
will be friends.
The rest of your traveling day, aside from that lever, will go pretty uneventfully. The only thing I'll have to ask is, are you guys going to enter the town, like, as soon as you get there? Like, are you gonna maybe, like, camp outside the town for the night and, like, go in the morning? Because you'll get there, like, pretty much, like, right at, like, midnight-ish.
Well, frankly, Jack's a little bit tired of sleeping. Roughing it, so to speak. So...
I mean, there's not really much for you to rough, though, because you're so tiny. You could just fit somewhere. up there.
That's a common misconception, actually.
Mhm.
A bath would be nice. And like an actual bath.
Oh, yes, perhaps I'll join you.
No.
Oh, no, I didn't mean, like, well, you know what? Yes, I will stop talking now.
I don't know. I kind of like sleeping outside.
I'm just wondering if it would be much of an inconvenience for the peoples for us to be arriving so late in the evening.
I'm sure taverns are accustomed to such events.
You'd think that.
Jack, have you ever been to the Prime ever before now?
As a matter of fact, there was this one time where I stopped off to use the facility somewhere, and when I was passing through, spent a good 10 minutes here. So I guess you could say I'm something of an expert. I've always said if you can't learn everything there is to know in 10 minutes, it's not worth knowing. You can write that down.
I don't.
I will
don't
write
know
that
if
down.
that's true.
This puts clarity into Jack so much.
And finally, we see the method behind the madness.
Or just the madness.
Either or.
Helio would like a tavern.
Okay. Then we'll go in.
Oh, so Helio says he's like a tavern, and suddenly we're going in. Okay, I see. Yeah.
Well,
I understand. I see that there's
we're going
a
with
fairy
majority.
hierarchy here, and frankly, I think it's a little backwards. It's not like I was pulling a lever. I'm just saying.
All right. If that is the decision, you guys will march into town. By the time you get there, I would say, like, in real world terms, it's maybe like 1 in the morning, 1:30, 2 o'clock-ish. And it is about as dead as you would expect it. There is, like, not many people out in the streets, and if they are out in the streets, they're kind of, like, rushing back home after maybe, like, a long day's work or something. Aside from the streets being empty, there's, like, a big main sign. Let me actually pull up a map of Red Larch.
Is Red Larch like a town, a village, a city?
It's like a town. It's like a mid-sized town. But it is known for it's known for kind of like punching above its weight a little bit. It's because it's in like a nice like prime location on the long road, and kind of surrounded by a bunch of other like popular cities. a lot of like, you know, people will stop by for a day or two.
Country road, take me home
Turn off. There we go. All right.
to the place.
Pardon the horrible quality of this map. This is the only one I could find on Google that didn't have a ton of labels on it.
Ugh, I know, right? I hate it when that happens.
But you guys will arrive from this end of town over here. And I'm going to turn the grid off on this map because I do not like it.
You're one of those anti-gridders.
Yeah, I hate grids.
Is there a way to turn off the turn order window?
You can just click the X on it.
We
There's
don't have an
on-
X.
I don't have an X.
Oh,
we don't have
maybe
one.
I can...
On the yeah.
Do I have to clear it? Clear all turns. Clear.
You just X. You just X.
Oh.
Yeah, there you go.
There we go. There you go.
Yay!
What?
It's
That's
finally
like-
done.
That's like in like a video game when like the stuff, like in Skyrim, you know, like how there's the eye, you know, and like the eye finally
Yes.
closes, you know, like there is nobody that can see you now. There's nobody looking for you. But as you guys arrive in town, you guys kind of begin meandering through the wide, broad streets of this like little village, city, town thing. And in the dead center here, there is a big old signpost with bunches of different signs and arrows pointing every which way. And the two ones that sound like inns are Helmet High Sun and the Swinging Sword.
Oh, I like the sound of the swinging sword. Unless Helio does it, in which case I'm sure we won't be going there.
Helio was gonna say he liked the other, but he doesn't have a preference.
I mean, just from looking down the street in both directions, like, is it easily visible to see both establishments?
Yeah, you
To
can
visually
you can
compare?
see like you can see some signs. The give me 1 second. I have to actually pull up my labeled map, my one that has the labels. It's not up though. Come here, friend. I must see your labels. While I'm pulling up this label map, please enjoy the soothing sounds of ambiance.
Ambiance.
There we go. All right. That is there. All right. The Helmet High Sun is right here. It's this smaller building here. I say smaller. It's actually fairly like grand in size and in appearance. It's got like sort of like a almost like a, not really necessarily like a mansion-y kind of appearance, but more like a maybe like a bigger country house, you know, like it looks like very, very nice. And it looks very old as well, like it's been like well established. It's kind of like, you know, been here a long time. Directly across the street, however, is the Swinging Sword. It's got a big old like stable area where it seems like other adventurers are keeping their horses and wagons. The tavern itself is this huge building that's definitely like a big old mansion. And it has been sort of renovated and converted into a tavern, it seems, with time. It seems a bit newer, but it seems about equally as old. And both buildings at this point are very, like, deathly quiet. All the lights are pretty much off in both ones. But both the doors, like, I would, like, they're both kind of, like, maybe, like, slightly ajar to let you know, like, oh, you can come in, you know.
Helio's just kind of like floating there in the middle of the street. Doesn't care which one they go to.
I mean, we could
I
start
know
with
where I'm going.
the Swinging Sword first and see what the atmosphere is like.
Gravitating towards the one with the nice barn.
We'll go to the Swinging Sword.
All right.
That's what I'd like to hear.
Into the
Jack,
Swinging
you're
Sword, you go, and inside it is, like, pretty much, there are a few lights on, like candles on tables, and, like, a couple of lanterns that are still on, and there is a very sleepy-looking person, a very sleepy-looking woman, kind of, like, slumped over the, like, the front sort of, like, bar area of the tavern, and she does not even seem to like notice you as you come in. She's kind of still like in like a kind of tired stupor as she kind of like stretches and prepares to greet you.
Jack will fly up and land on the bar. Hello there. I'm known as Jack Spicewing, and I'm sure you've heard of me. I'm here with my companions. We seek some lodging for the night. Perhaps some ale, if you have it as well. Isn't that what you humans drink?
She'll yawn like, ugh, and then she'll look at you like, Jack Licewing? What kind of name is that?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You must be deaf. It's Spice Wing. Spice.
Wing. Okay, Spice Wing. Right.
Yeah.
She'll like get you guys all like some ale, and she'll set some of it down on the counter, and she'll say, "Well, if you tell me a story, it's on the house. But if not, I'm gonna have to charge for it."
Have I got a story for you? You see, tell me, have you ever heard of vampires?
She'll look at you like, of course I have, but she'll play along like, no, vampires? Never.
Well, I happen to have met one fairly recently, my companions and I, and you'll be happy to know that I have since slayed him. He was working for something called the Dark Lever.
The Dark Lever? Wow.
Yes.
That reminds me of the lever that's on the trail that, you know, people call that the Dark Lever.
You're familiar with that?
Yeah. It's a common little tourist attraction. People will go out there and pull the lever, see what comes out. People say some nice stuff comes out of there occasionally, but there's also been plenty of very bad instances where people have been reduced to nothing more than puddles of goo.
Yes.
As they
He
stood
just
there.
kind of leans out and looks at her from behind everybody.
Tell me, how many people have died because of that lever?
She'll shrug.
Wow, she doesn't even know how many. Did you hear that, Helio?
Yeah. I'm sure it's not many. Not very. No.
Tell me, is there any idea who built that thing? Or where those monsters come from?
She'll shrug again, and she'll like kind of like lean back a little bit, and she'll say like, I think I remember I heard once that it was built ages ago by the dwarves that used to live in the Somber Hills over there, but they were drawing all the stuff from a pocket dimension of some kind that kind of was just filled to the brim with weird stuff, the belonging of some ancient dwarven king who seemed to have a bit of a hoarding problem. And somebody found a way to tap into the pocket dimension, but they couldn't pick what was coming out. So the lever is a remnant of that, it seems. But that's only a rumor.
Why hasn't anyone, sealed it up or taken down the lever?
Again, she'll shrug, and she'll kind of like think for a second and say, I mean, maybe people just like, pulling the lever. I wouldn't mind pulling it myself at some point.
That does not surprise me. Well, oh yes, story. You wanted a story? Yes? Was that enough, or would you like some gory details? I warn you, it is not for the faint of heart.
She'll indulge you in the gory details, but I won't, because I have no time for Jack's nonsense.
Yeah, neither do I.
So she will actively indulge you in all the gory details, and will hash them all out with you. And she'll take particular interest at whenever like you mention magic, like magic being used or somebody else using magic. Although I'm assuming you're the only one that uses magic in your version of the story. She'll like take particular interest at that, and then she'll eventually mention that she's a sorcerer herself, and so is her twin sister, the one that runs the tavern with her. And she'll also mention that her twin sister, she's a little bit mad at her right now because she's the one that drew the short straw and has to do the night shift for this week.
Oh, how unfortunate.
I feel like, depending on how long this took, Helio is asleep on like a table or in a cup or somewhere.
She would talk for a while.
Just for reference, during the whole conversation when Jack's talking, Vesper's doing this to Finch behind his back.
Finch will
That
laugh.
makes
Is there anyone in the tavern right now besides the barkeep?
In like the main tavern area, no. It's pretty dead. There's not a soul around, besides her. But you can hear like there's a second floor of this building, and you can hear people like walking around up there on their tippy toes, trying to like get from one room to another without waking anybody up.
About those rooms, because we're awfully tired.
She'll the second you mention that, she'll say like, "Oh right, yeah, sorry. Yeah, that'll just cost you," and then she'll kind of like count your heads. 5 gold, and you guys can have the rooms for a night.
Is there any chance we could strike a deal? It's not that lively right now. I take it people are trying to sleep, but in the morning, I'm a capable bard. I'd be more than happy to play.
She's the best bard you'll ever hear, I promise you.
Finch, are your bagpipes out? Like, do you have your bagpipes on your person?
Bagpipes, violin, and
Drum? You have a drum, right?
Okay.
And a flute?
yeah.
But like
and a
if
lute-
somebody was looking at you,
lute,
would they see
lyre,
a bagpipe?
bagpipes, viol. No, they'd see her violin and her lyre first.
Okay. She'll look at you and she'll say like, "Well, we get a lot of bards coming in here. I don't know. I'll think about it. But 5 gold, I think, up front is what I'm gonna need."
Are we each getting a room? Did we want to some of us room together? Or are we all getting our own rooms?
We might as well room together. How many beds are there to a room?
She'll say that there's about 2 beds to a room. Some rooms are bigger and have 3, but there's 2 beds to a room generally.
And we really only need 3.
Then she will say that the total cost will be 3 gold pieces then.
Well, I don't mind sharing a room with Finch and Helio. I mean, Helio's not going to take up much room.
Just want a soft spot, Tedler. And he just passes out.
Liddy will turn into a cat and just like curl up around him and probably also pass out.
I'm assuming Ava and Liddy would want a room together. Jack, do you want your own room?
As a matter of fact, I do. To be honest, it's become a bit tiresome rooming with all of you.
Okay. So we'll do the 3 rooms. And I'll pay the 3 gold.
She'll take it, she'll put it into a drawer under the counter, and she will hand you a set of keys for each room.
Cool.
And with that, assuming there's nothing else you want to talk to this lady about, she will kind of like, you'll see she'll cast a little spell, like a little tiny darkness spell around like your head a little bit to kind of like, and then she'll like slump herself down on the counter, and then she'll try to get some shut-eye a little bit. But as for you lot, you guys can go up to your rooms and get some shut-eye, and that's a long rest for you, gang. Congratulations.
Huzzah.
You've earned it.
Hey.
But during that long rest, is there anybody that's going to stay awake? And like,
Well, Jack's got a
It's-
report to write.
It's 2 in the morning.
about, yeah,
But
at this point.
everybody else needs a full rest. So that's. I'll stay up for maybe just a couple of hours. Reading my book I got, not the one from the barge ride in,
Your
the one
hag
that's
book?
locked. My hag book. I'm gonna read my
Okay.
hag book a little bit
Okay.
and then go to sleep. Well, Finch, are you going to sleep immediately?
Actually, Helio, you wanted to learn one of my spells, right?
He did, didn't he? Spell was it? I think it was comprehend language.
Comprehend languages, yeah.
I'm gonna stay up a little with Helio to get some spells out.
Okay.
Do you have any spells I'd want, Helio?
Helio has all the spells.
All the spells.
I don't know. Do you have any spell in particular that you might want to have? Fine, you already have them. I have the Tensor's floating disc, but
You
magic
really like
missile.
Tetsu's floating disc. That's like
I know, right?
you really like that spell.
I do. It's because I can do it at will without extending the spell slot.
That explains it.
Why?
Same with detect magic. That's why I want comprehend languages, because I'll be able to do it at will without expending a spell slot.
Actually, if both of you are awake and if you don't mind and could take 10 minutes, could you run a detect magic on the book that I got from the where the Dark Weaver was? I got this book that's locked. And I think I have an idea how to open it, but I just want to make sure it's not like cursed magic before I try opening it.
Yes, I can do that. I can also. I think you also have identify, don't you, Finch?
Yeah, I don't have a 100 gold pearl though, I don't think.
I have a pearl.
Oh, sweet.
I would like to. If is that a ritual?
Identify?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Does it consume the pearl, or you just need a pearl?
It consumes the pearl.
No. It consumes the pearl.
Yes. Charlie, do you know consume the spell?
Because you had one, I had one, and I think we had like 3 more gems left that we could have as whatever we wanted, because we didn't. Yeah, 5 gems. 3 of them. Oh, I see. We had 5 gems. We identified 3 as, or we wanted 3 of them as pearls, but there's technically still 2 more. We could have be whatever we want, technically.
It is.
Add the list of interest spells to.
Is a ritual. Okay. So yeah, I think I would want. Well, no, I don't. No, I don't need. I don't need it, because if it's a ritual, or if the casting time is 1 minute, and we have time for 1 minute, I'm sure we'd have time for a minute and 10 more minutes. I don't know.
So yeah, if one of you is willing to share a pearl, Finch will cast Identify on the spellbook.
Yeah.
Alright. Finch, after identifying the book, it turns out to be a Librum of Souls and Flesh.
A Librum of Souls and Flesh. What does that mean?
I can share a link to the item very quickly if you want to see a link to it.
Oh, your comprehend language is the bard spell?
Yes. It's both a bard and a wizard spell, but I got it from a bard level up. Can another wizard still learn it?
No. Unless Charlie says otherwise. But...
It's comprehend languages. I'm not gonna. If Helio wants to talk to weird things, then that's fine with me.
Okay.
You say that now.
Yeah. I feel as though the decision will come back to bite me at some point. But for now, if Helio wants to talk with weird things, so be it.
So be it. All right. Then yes,
Oops.
you would like to learn
Don't mind me.
However, Finch, the only other thing I'll say with that identify is you would learn that the lock is magical too.
Ooh, I have a spell for that.
You do?
Yes.
Do.
Well, do we want to open this? Is it wise? If it's a Librum of souls and flesh.
I do want to point out that there are sleeping people around you, and that makes a very loud noise.
Helio doesn't like the way you said that.
You might want to go outside if we're going to do this, and we should probably grab the others just in case.
With covers made of skin and fitting relative it's called attachment. It's faintly on the book. Contains the following spells, which are wizard spells for you while you are attuned to the book. Animate dead, circle of death, false life, finger of death, speak with dead, summon undead,
You can
vampiric
summon
touch.
undead.
It functions as a spell book for you. While you are holding the book, you can use it as a spellcasting focus for your wizard spells. The book has 3 charges, and it regains 1d3 expended charges daily at dawn. You can use the charges in the following ways while holding it. If you spend 1 minute studying the book, you can expend 1 charge to replace one of your prepared wizard spells with a different spell in the book. The new spell must be of the necromancy school. As an action, you can expend 1 charge to take on a semblance of undeath for 10 minutes. For the duration, you take on a deathly appearance, and undead creatures are indifferent to you unless you have damaged them. You also appear undead to all outward inspection and to spells used to determine the target's status. The effect ends if you deal damage or force a creature to make a saving throw. Ooh. Requires attunement by a wizard. I can't use this book, so that means Finch or Helio, you guys are going to
Helio,
be the only ones to use the
please.
book.
I kind of want it too, though.
No,
Jesus Christ.
please.
Finch is getting all the magic items.
Oh shit! Right. Wait,
She's got
you
a
can have
new
the sword.
violin, she's got a sword, she's getting a book. I mean,
Oh yeah.
You gotta use. You could do like the Terraria thing where. Has anybody played Terraria before I may even make this reference?
Yeah.
I
you,
made it 5 minutes and I got really bored.
You like in that game you can combine like items, like in the later game you can combine like the like magic items, I guess I would say, like you find in the world, and like Finch has got to combine like the book with the violin or something to get like a violin of flesh or something.
You
That
guys
actually
can take
sounds
turns
really
with the
cool.
book.
Is
Every
it
other
considered
day.
a spell book? Like it's considered a spell book, right?
Yes.
Now, if Finch would just let Helio copy the spells from it into his own spell book, you can have the spell book.
Well, why don't you keep the book and I copy them? Because Vesper is right. I did get the last magical item.
Because I just think it would be better if you took it as long as Helio got the spells.
Well,
Unless you really want Helio to have it.
I would rather Helio have it, and I mean, thinking an application, it might be better with you.
Oh, I guess I also didn't read the full thing of Identify. This item is also you detect some kind of curse on it.
This is cursed. We probably shouldn't. We should copy the spells and not use it.
I mean, but the question is do you need to attune it in order to see the spells?
I mean, I can open the book. I have a spell to open the lock.
Right, but once you open it, is that going to curse you?
Would Finch know if opening the book alone would curse her, or if
You can give me an
her
Arcana
and
check.
need to attune? Ooh. Why was I looking at saving throws?
So your best guess is that you probably would need to attune to the book to see the spells that are inside of it, and you would also guess that it would probably like it's locked for a reason. They wouldn't lock it for no reason. You just like intuition says that if you unlock it, it's probably gonna fuck you up.
It's not a good idea to unlock this.
Can we get a flavor of what this curse might entail?
So I would say like maybe as you're identifying the book, Finch, maybe you kind of like are like you're holding the book, maybe you're kind of like like just kind of like feeling the pages of it. The lock has a bit of give on it, so maybe you like would stick your hand into the book, seeing like if you could just like feel the pages or something. If you would like put your hand like on like the pages of the book, like the open like the I don't know what that part of the book is called, but like where the pages are, what's that called? I don't know. Not the spine of the book, but like the opposite.
The binding.
Not the binding, the opposite end.
He's talking about where the pages swirl open.
Yeah. I don't know, but if you point, let me see. I don't know, but so yeah, like if you're feeling it, not only would like the pages feel kind of like wet and slimy a little bit, like. They would also have like you'd feel maybe like a sharp tooth kind of like pierce your skin for a second.
Ew! Don't let it pierce your skin.
Yeah, we might.
That's gonna get infected.
Open this.
This is like the Harry Potter book.
I'm gonna do it.
No, you're not. It's the only one of us that has a spell to open it. Do you even have a way to?
I mean, I'm sure I could get it open, but
The question is who, once someone does get it open and say it does curse someone, how are we going to get that curse off of that person? Is Hevio or Finch, are you able to, do you have a spell for that?
kind of got rid of a few curses before. They're just not my expertise.
No.
I mean, do we want to risk it though?
Maybe I'll just hold on to it for now. He kind of like scoops it up. I'll just hold on to it for now, and then we'll decide later if we're gonna.
Why don't I hold on
to
to it since I'm the one who can't use it? And then once we decide who is going to use it, or if we can use it safely, then I'll bring it out and you could do whatever you want with it.
Okay.
Fine. It's such a cool book, though.
It is quite interesting. From what you said, it's got some really interesting spells. It's just.
Oh wait! If we're heading to Neverwinter, I know a cleric.
Oh, you do?
Yeah. I don't know if she can remove a curse this strong, but I know a cleric.
So once we get to Neverwinter, and we talk to your clerical friend, and if they are okay with it, one of you could read the book long enough to get the spells out of it, and then we'll heal you of said curse and then get rid of the book.
Okay.
Alright.
So I'll hold on to it for now, and then once we get to Neverwinter, we'll see your friend first before we go to Black Lake? Because we're going to Neverwinter to go to Black Lake, right? It's not to do with Neverwinter itself.
Yes.
How far is Black
Sorry.
Lake from Neverwinter?
Black Lake is in Neverwinter.
Oh, it's in Neverwinter. I thought it was outside of it.
It is inside.
Okay. So, cleric friend first. Get all that done. And then Black Lake. But as soon as possible, because it sounded, whatever this is, to be very dire.
Oh, it couldn't be that bad.
Knock on wood.
Do you have any idea what it could be, Finch? What Yahala was talking about?
If you knock on wood, you'll hear.
Wood, Finch.
Sorry, Jack.
What? Huh? What?
Would Finch know what he was talking about?
You didn't get particularly much context. I guess you could give me a history check.
Alright. Ooh.
So, the last time you saw Yahala was like the night the Dawn Chorus was like ambushed and burnt to the ground and everybody was pretty much slaughtered. That was the last time you saw her. And that was the last time anybody saw her. Since then, she's been gone. However, she didn't look like she looked a bit like she looked pretty much exactly how she did like the day or two before the event happened. Like she looked like the same outfit. Like you remember it very well because it was a pretty traumatizing experience. So you would remember like the outfit she was wearing and like things like that. Like you would remember she was dressed and she looked like about exactly that way. So you would guess that whatever vision thing ghost you saw was from around that time. But outside of maybe like perhaps going there to like stop what was going to happen, maybe she knew or something, you can only speculate.
What did you say this magic item was? The spellbook?
The spellbook is a Librum of Souls and Flesh. I'll post the link again in the game so that way you can find it. There you go. Librum of Souls and Flesh.
Yes, the old Librum of Souls and Flesh.
Everyone's favorite. That's a real page turner. I really liked chapter 3 about flesh.
Ooh. Charlie, I had no idea.
I'll be right back.
I really want to open that book.
We'll save it for later.
All right.
Wait, Finch, I have a question.
Yeah?
You mentioned to me before, I don't know if it's okay to say this in front of Helio. I don't know how secretive you want to be about this, but you mentioned to me before you thought you saw Yahala in the middle of the ocean? Is it similar to what we saw in the ballroom?
GM?
I'm trying to think about what that could be in reference to. The only other time I think, as far as I'm aware, that you have had any like contact with Yahala was very far back in Ardite Forest. You saw Yahala when you were when you guys were all attacked by some otherworldly entity, and Ardite Forest was plunged into a kind of like necromantic bad vibe time. You saw Yahala then, and her appearance was about the same, from what you can recall.
Yeah, she looked about the same.
So, as far as we know, what we saw in the ballroom was a memory? Is that common for magic to do that? To create a
You can give
projection?
me an Arcana check.
Helio?
Hey, there we go. So,
yes, what do I need? What am I doing?
I would say like
Never mind.
you can gauge so magical items, especially ones that have a very strong connection to their owner, can like project like memories or certain events that are like particularly meaningful in one way or another as it relates to their like previous or current owner, assuming they're sufficiently powerful.
So the idea was that Yahala left the violin in the ballroom?
For the violin to have that kind of connection to her, she definitely had to have a connection back with it. I don't think she'd just leave it.
Was this an important item to her? Was it special to her? Would she just leave it?
Does Finch know how important it was? Because
I mean, like, it's about as important as, like, I don't know, what's your favorite instrument that Finch carries around?
this was definitely an important thing to her.
So the fact that it was left in the ballroom of Bardray Inn is strange?
Yes, I mean, you couldn't imagine me leaving one of my instruments behind, could you?
No, you like stealing them, that's for sure.
I guess like
yeah,
an
I
even
do.
better comparison would be like, it's like if Finch had like an instrument that she got when she was like a kid and is basically like had with her entire life and is like kept like in tip top pristine shape like the entire time and is like the only thing she used.
And it's very strange that she would just leave it in the ballroom to go to Neverwinter. You'd think that she'd take it with her.
Unless there's a situation in which she had to leave it behind. Maybe she was attacked or left on purpose.
But in the projection that we saw, the illusion, she dropped it. And then she ran off because she said that there may still be enough time to save her.
I know, but she wouldn't. It feels weird. I can't think of a reason why she'd drop her violin. You wouldn't just drop your sword, would you?
No.
Especially not if it was as fragile as a violin. I mean, if this thing was a magical, it would have been broken 1,000 times over.
So, when you went to Barge Inn, did you go there with her? Were you there with her for some time?
Was Finch?
Yes, you would have gone there with her before.
Yeah, she was a member of the troupe.
So, this possible memory that we saw was after you two separated for whatever reason it was?
Yes, Jen.
You're not entirely sure. You wouldn't know. Either like, because again, she the appearance she had was very similar, if not identical, to how she looked the last time you saw her. Like, probably like either minutes before, minutes after, or during the like the events where the Dawn Course was pretty much thoroughly destroyed. So you you don't know if that was like, yeah, like during, after, like, you know, before. You're not entirely sure, or it could have just been in another time. Just coincidentally, she was wearing the same thing. You don't know.
Not sure.
How long ago have you not seen her? Or
If it was attack about a year?
okay.
Sorry, I have to go pull up my backstory. It was a few years ago.
Oh, so what we could be saying could be a few years ago. At most. Could be recent, could be... Okay. You explained the attack to us?
Again? Did you say can you or?
No, did you?
Oh, she would have probably at some point. The group was attacked by. What's the one we don't like?
Zentarum.
The
Oh,
Zentarum, and majority of them were killed. Besides a very small handful.
at Bodge, right?
No,
No,
further up
along.
the long road.
Oh, okay. And then you went to Bodge right after the attack happened? For whatever reasons? Or before?
Barge Right Inn would have
No,
been
before.
yeah, before. Finch would have gone to Barge Right Inn multiple times, just because it's like in the vicinity of Neverwinter, and it was like a big, you know, in its heyday a couple of years back, it was a very big, like, you know, travel destination. Getting to perform there with like your troupe would have been like a big, like, ooh, big honor, big thing.
Okay. So, our goal is to hopefully see Yahala, or at least someone who's met with her since she went to Black Lake, and try to connect what it is that she is wanting to save. But before that, see your cleric friend.
Yeah. If I point you guys in the direction of my cleric friend, would you be willing to talk to them without me?
Do you think they would be okay with speaking to two
No.
strangers who
Um,
claim they know Finch?
she ran the orphanage where I grew up. I mean, she's not gonna turn away friends. Or, well, anyone, really.
I mean, I don't see why not, but where would you be going yourself?
I'd try to make some gold at an inn. If we're in that area, there's someone I want to visit. The wizard that trained me, I think they may or may not know something worth a shot. So I didn't leave on the best terms with my family, and I'd rather not run back into them, admittedly.
Okay. But you were on good terms with her.
Yes.
Okay. I don't see why not. We could do that. We could have Helio read the book, jot the spells down quickly, because he can do that, and then she can heal him of whatever curse this is. What's her name?
It is, Alda. She a very old Tordo cleric, worshipper of Lyra like myself.
Worshipper of what?
Lyra, Lliira.
Alda. Her name is Alda. Okay. Gotcha. And yeah, if you just, once we get into Neverwinter, let us know where it is. I'm sure we can find our way there.
Sweet.
And then, well, I guess first we'll probably try to find a place where we could all stay, so that once we are all finished with whatever it is that we're doing, we could meet back up in a central place.
Would Finch know any kind of the way more hidden but still fairly priced inns that they might be able to stay?
100% for sure you would, but I don't have that list on me. So
completely fair.
The answer is yes, and the name is
Figure
blank.
it out when we get there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know a place.
Okay. Then I will finish, well, reading as much as I can of this book, and then you guys can finish exchanging spells.
Finch and Vesper, and if Helio's still awake, Helio. You guys hear and see from the window of your room a very big, like, glowing light descending from the sky, and then a couple of seconds later, it crashes down into the center of town.
Oh my gosh.
Oh! God. I'll go get the others.
Yes, I will run outside.
Finch is gonna run and get the other three.
Helio.
Collect my things and just kind of like drift out the window. What? Huh? What? What about? What? Yes.
I'm going to run towards wherever that thing that crashed.
Alrighty. On this map of Red Larch, it is right here.
Right here?
Right, meow.
Right there. Okay. I will make my way over there. Helio, hurry up!
Alrighty.
Gonna drift over.
Finch is banging out the door to wake the others up as they have already woken up.
pretty much everybody's up at this point. Like you'll see like some people are already emerging out into the hallway. Like you'll see some people like maybe like talking to each other like what was that, you know? Like what on earth? Did you guys see like the big glowing light descend from the sky? What on earth?
Vesper then.
Liddy will go over to the window and kind of like peek out, and then if it opens, open it and go giant owl again.
Okay.
And then kind of turn back over her shoulder and see if anyone wants a lift.
If your door is open, a bunch of strangers will.
Well, no, of her friends.
And I would say as you're looking out the window, you'll see like where it landed. There's like a big old beacon of light, like a big, like shining, sort of like golden beacon of light, like shooting straight out from where it landed up into the sky. I'll also make the executive decision that I think Ava would probably hop on the owl.
Then she'll head towards the light, kind of slowly, maybe doing like a couple of like loops around, slowly getting closer, but not getting too close just yet.
All right. First thing you'll notice is that a whole bunch of people have, like, emerged from their houses. Everybody's getting up and, like, walking down the street, coming to see what's going on. You'll see that, like, there hasn't been much devastation or anything. Like, everything is pretty much intact. There wasn't many buildings out here to begin with that it could have destroyed. So, aside from maybe some superficial damage, there's nothing that's been destroyed or anything. The item itself is a bit hard to see, so you can give me a perception check with advantage because you're an owl. To see if you can see it.
Ooh, that was good.
It is so you squint your owl eyes and you kind of see past like the glowing light. It's very bright, that's for sure. But you see there it's like basically like a big old hunk of amber embedded into the ground at this point because of how it shot from the sky. And inside of it, you can see what looks like a big ol' eye, kind of like it seems like it almost like tracks your movement across the sky as you stare back at it.
Oh no.
As soon as she realizes that it's like watching her, she'll kind of pull back and try and find the rest of their group.
Okay. Group, I'm assuming everybody's up at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jack is has a mask and green.
Cucumbers on his eyes.
I was gonna say
Yes.
the cucumbers, yeah.
Yes.
Got some under eye patch like things.
Kind of pinching his skin as he comes out.
But Vesper, as you're running down the street trying to make your way towards this thing, I think you'll notice immediately the same things that kind of Liddy noticed from the sky. The like there's a bunch of people waking up. They're all coming out of their houses, like looking around, trying to see what's going on. You'll also see the small troop of guards that are deployed here will all kind of like march down the street in single file, trying to like get to the scene of the crime as quickly as possible. But so far, nothing bad has happened. It's still just a quiet night.
Nobody else is running out of their houses causing a commotion?
I mean, like, there are people running out of the houses causing a bit of commotion. But, I mean, like, they're not, like, there's no, like, so far you haven't heard any screaming of death or, pain or, dying.
No other
Theft of
things falling
mayonnaise.
from the sky?
Nope.
How close can I
Something
get
on
to
fire?
it before
can
anyone
get-
stops me?
You can get pretty much right up against it. There are people that have, like, begun to form a little circle around it.
I want to get up as close as I can to it.
Alrighty. As you get up to it, you'll see a very similar sight to what Liddy saw. It's a big, like, hunk of, like, what appears to be almost like an amber substance. It's like a bright gold, transparent, like, or translucent kind of thing.
Vesper,
Hmm?
be careful. You don't know what this is. You may not want to touch it.
Oh my gosh, Helio, you're growing up. You're actually telling me to be careful now.
Proud mom moment.
Because I'm going to touch it.
No. Character arc.
So inside of it, you'll see, inside of this kind of translucent, like, amber-like substance, there is a big old kind of, like, draconic eye that is, like, looking, like, very frantically, like, at every single person that is kind of, like, surrounding it at this point. Like, it will look at every single person for a second or two and then, like, dart its vision to someone else. And then sitting in front of it is a very ornately carved, kind of, like, red gemstone-looking flute.
Oh. Touch. Grab hold.
No.
All right. The flute itself is encased in a smaller, like, similar hunk of amber, although it is separate from the main thing. And once you touch it, give me a con save. All right. So you touch it, and you immediately are, like, filled with this kind of, like, almost like an overwhelming sense of, like, kind of like almost like a goodness, almost. You know, like, you kind of feel like this righteous urge to, like, do something good, and maybe, like, slay some great beast. And it also draws back memories of perhaps, like, the time you like, fought that Etten, like, in the very beginning of the campaign. Like, it will draw back memories of, like, how you slew it. You know, you had, like, a really nice kill on it. It'll bring back memories of that.
See what Lady Agatha felt like every day.
Every day.
And so, like, yeah, you like, it brings back, like you have, like, a very vivid flashback to when you guys fought that thing and, like, how you guys, like, you know, killed it and everything. And you have, like, this, like, very palpable sense of, like accomplishment as you touch it. But, nonetheless, you do take 16 radiant damage as you touch it. As it kind of courses through your veins. And also note that you can't see this yourself, but anybody that looks at you will notice that, like, your little, like, bone crown that you have, like, that's kind of embedded into your skull, and, like, these kind of, like, black eyeshadow that you have around your eyes, and some of your other, like, maybe more menacing features seem to have kind of, like, withdrawn for a little bit.
Vesper,
Yes?
are you alright?
I mean, it stung pretty hard, but I feel really good.
Is it safe to say Liddy has
Medicine
maybe made it to
check.
them at this point?
Oh, yeah. You guys are all there at this point. Everybody, pretty much at this point, I would say a couple minutes after the event, pretty much everybody that can make it is there. Like, everybody is, like, crowding around. At this point, there's a huge crowd of maybe, like, you know, several hundreds of people, like, all, like, oohing and eyeing, pushing and shoving, trying to see what the thing is. And you'll see, like, the woefully understaffed guard force here is, like, trying to maintain a semblance of order, but really can't.
That's the new
Seeing
TV
that,
show, Guard Force.
yes. Seeing that there was an eye, Liddy's going to go back to gnome form and kind of step up close to Vesper, but not touching her or the thing that she touched that hurt her. And she's going to cast Speak with Animals and
Okay.
see if that will let her communicate with whatever this is.
No dice. The eye, I will say, as you're, like, looking at it, it's draconic in nature. Definitely draconic in nature. It's sort of like a teal-colored draconic eye, and it is, like, very frantically scanning each person in the crowd.
Well, it's not talking to me, but it seems like it's looking for something or someone.
Can I hold the flute in its visual range so I could see it?
Yeah, you can. So you hold out the kind of like hunk of amber that's in your hand that contains this kind of like flute-looking thing. It kind of honestly looks more like an ocarina now that I kind of like think about it. It kind of looks like an ocarina almost. But you hold it out to it, and though it will like look at you very intently for a moment, it will immediately just kind of go back to scanning the crowd.
Does anybody speak Draconic?
In your group or in the crowd?
In our group. Well, our group
Not
first.
me.
Not me.
Well, but Finch has that spell that lets her talk to things. Or we could let the
Finch,
sword
okay.
try and talk to it. Maybe they could understand each other.
Plunge
I'm gonna.
Upon suggestion of using the
sword
sword,
into
you'll
the
hear who's holding the sword at this point, or like who has it on their person.
Finch?
I assume
think
Finch.
Finch,
had it.
you'll hear kind of like in the back of your head, you'll hear, "Are you fucking daft? I'm not getting near that thing. No, no."
Says no. Its cone is also a lot better.
Mm.
Do you guys want me to cast a spell?
I mean, comprehend languages that you used before only works on written word, right? Not with speaking?
It
Unless, do you
works on
have one for
speaking.
speaking? It works for speaking?
Yeah, any spoken language that you hear.
Oh, but if you say something,
It won't
maybe
understand me.
they won't understand. Okay.
Well, as you guys are trying to figure out what to do, through the crowd will emerge a very tall, I would say maybe like 7.5 foot tall minotaur person. They'll kind of like step through the crowd, shoving and pushing, and they'll be like, "Excuse me, pardon me, out of the way, coming through," pushing and shoving, and then they'll finally get to the front, and in a voice that definitely does not sound like it's very peculiar. Like the Draconic language is not like something that sounds like it should be coming out of like something with a cow for a head. But it's this like kind of like with like these long kind of like S's and these harsh consonant and vowel sounds. But she says something in Draconic to this like big hunk of amber that's sort of like embedded in the ground, but there is no response.
Okay, well, I guess that means it can't talk. Can you identify it or detect magic? Finch? Elia?
Alien's gonna fly up to the amber, get really close, and he's not gonna touch it, but he's gonna stare into the eye and say, "Look up if you can understand me," in common.
Gotta Google something really quick. I've gotta Google something. I'm gonna say... No. It will stare at you very intently. It will pretty much just like bury into your soul as it's kind of like looking at you, but it will not respond to your like request to chat.
Okay, then he's gonna repeat that in every language he knows.
What languages do you know?
He knows Common, Elven, Giant, Orcish, Primordial, and Sylvan.
Which will cast detect comprehend languages at this point because this thing's talking.
I don't think... I've got to look up one more thing. I've got to look up... I've got to see what languages... Is this related to... I guess when you speak primordial, it might like look at you very briefly. Like you'll notice it only looks at every person once before like scanning to another person. But when you speak in primordial, it will look at you very briefly for a second and then turn its gaze away.
Oh.
So then he's gonna shift to the dialects of primordial, maybe?
Okay.
I think there's 4 of them.
Yes,
so
there are a few. All the dialects are about the same, but you can give me an intelligence check or maybe like a history check to determine something here.
I will give history. That's okay.
All right. So you're thinking. So you're like saying a bunch of different phrases that you're trying to like figure out like if it can talk, and the thing that sticks out to you is that you don't speak Draconic, but you know that Primordial uses the Draconic alphabet and has loan words from Draconic, and perhaps you'll stumble upon the fact that every word that you say that seems like it's Draconic, it does seem to like understand or at least acknowledge.
Okay. I turn around and look at everybody else, be like, give the rundown of what he just did and explain that it doesn't speak any of these languages, but it speaks a subsect of this language, which has...
I'll also say with that history check
that's... And he just go into detail about...
I'll say with that history check also, you'll notice that when the Minotaur person tried to speak to the thing, it acknowledged, like it seems as though it understood what they were trying to say, but you also kind of like got this sense that it was like it wasn't fully comprehending it, or like there was some kind of language barrier or something there.
Okay.
That might be a little bit too much information for a history check, but I'll give it to you.
Helio just give the rundown and look see if anybody else has some ideas.
The people in the crowd have various ideas. You'll see some people are like trying to poke and prod at it with like, like pitchforks, and you'll see other people are like throwing rocks or dirt at it. Other people are like bowing down before it, like praying to it. And you'll see all the while there are like guards, and like this Minotaur person also who seems to sort of be like commanding the guards are trying to like keep people like away from the thing. They're trying to keep people away. You'll see one of the guards has like a sort of like a thin kind of tarp that they keep trying to like plaster over the top of it, but then people will like run over and rip the thing off the top of it again before the guards kind of like go and like in like a frustrated kind of manner go and try to pick it back up from the crowd. And it is just kind of like this mass chaos as everybody's trying to get and like see like what it does.
The eye amber thing, how it's we're able to hold it in one hand. It's that small.
The big eye is not. It's pretty big. It is to put it in real life terms like a 4-foot big long turtle.
Okay.
It's a pretty big thing.
And then the ocarina is the small one.
Yeah, it came in a much smaller hunk of amber that is small enough to be held. But the longer you hold it, Vesper, the more like that initial searing pain got you, but it like you'll feel it kind of like coming back as you continue to hold it.
But before it gets too much, can I investigate the ocarina?
Yes, you can give me an investigate. You can determine that this thing is definitely, like, otherworldly, or at least, like, very odd in its construction. Like, the whole, like, it's not a material you've ever seen before. It's not, it's just very, like, it's outside of everything that you've ever kind of seen. Like I say amber is, like a close enough comparison, but, like, the texture of it is weird and, like, constantly shifting between, like, this kind of, like, metallic to, like, a stone to, like, almost, like, a softer kind of, like, peach fuzz kind of feeling, to, like, maybe, like, a rough, like, sandpaper kind of thing. The ocarina inside of it also appears like this, like, constantly kind of, like, changing, like, it appears like a red gemstone ocarina, but its form doesn't seem, like, perfectly concrete as it kind of shifts between different, like, it kind of looks like, sometimes it looks like a flower, or other times it looks like a root, or other times it looks like a leaf or something like that, you know. And it will shift between forms every, like, maybe couple seconds, like 30 seconds, or if you stop looking at it for a second and then look back at it, it will have, like, changed again.
Okay. Can I find whatever random piece of cloth I have on my person? I'm sure I feel like I've got something. Just, like, wrap it up in it so I'm not touching it anymore.
Yeah, you can. But as long as it's on your person, you'll determine that it still, like, fills you with this weird, like, almost like it gives you, like, a very sharp, like, headache kind of pain. And you don't, like, it's very difficult to, like, even, like, have it on your, like, you try to, like, put it into your bag and, like, just have, like, no hands on it. It still has this, like, very, like, sharp searing pain.
So, does anybody else want to look at this thing? Because if you do, we'll have to put it down and you can't touch it.
I mean, if we have a pearl, I can cast Identify.
And I think we have one pearl left.
Yeah.
There we go. That's some nice ambiance to accompany our current situation.
Liddy is going to use her minor illusion cantrip and just start making, like, she's probably going to start with animals because that's just what she knows. Start making, like, different animals or different, like, figures to try and see if one of them sparks any sort of reaction in the eye.
Every time you shift into a different figure or, like, present it a different figure, it will look at it. But realizing again that it's just like something that you're creating, it will like look away again.
Okay. I will make a point of making a dragon at one point too.
If you make a dragon, it will look. How big can your minor illusion make it?
Minor illusion of no larger than a 5-foot cube.
Noticing that it's either, if it is a dragon, it's a baby small dragon, or it will kind of realize maybe you can kind of detect it's not impressed by the small baby dragon it sees before it.
Okay.
So is it the eye inside? Is it like, is the amber part of it? Or does it feel like it's trapped inside the eye? Or the eye is trapped inside the amber?
I'll leave that to your interpretation. I mean, like, it doesn't seem like it's particularly, like, wanting to escape. It seems a bit like, maybe not panicked is the right word, but, like, overwhelmed. But that's probably just because it's surrounded by a bunch of people. I'll leave that to your interpretation. I don't think I can provide you a proper answer to that.
Okay.
I feel like we can't do anything proper until we get rid of all these people trying to cause ruckus.
Speaking of people, check. So at this point, as you're kind of like still trying to think of ideas, I don't know if the church bells are a super great touch to that, I'll be honest, but I'll take it. The guards at this point will start to, as like more people begin to like either leave out of frustration or just kind of like see that like, not much is happening, they'll start to leave, and the guards will start to get control of the situation. We'll start like shoving people away, like trying to create a perimeter around it. And they will even try to like, if you guys are getting in, like if you guys are really up close to it, they'll try to like maybe not like give you like a forceful shove, but they'll kind of like maybe like give you like a like move along, get along, like nothing to see here kind of like shove as they're trying to like get you away from it.
Is Jack with us?
That's a good question.
Yes.
Jack,
Yes.
show him the badge.
Show the badge.
Finch would also like to minor illusion a badge of her own to like help give him some authority in the situation.
All right, Jack, if you're presenting your badge to these guards, give me a persuasion check with disadvantage. Or I guess normal, because you're getting help. You're getting help, so normal.
All right.
Come on, Jack.
Got this.
Everybody freeze! Son of a bitch.
Oh, let's see if this friendly guard can beat you. No, he can't. The guard will like see the badge and will look at it and like squint and be like, he doesn't seem to know what that is, but he'll like nod as though he's like he's sure you're supposed to be there, and he'll
it's official.
And he'll like scoot around you and Finch, but everybody else that does not have a badge, he'll continue trying to like like using like the kind of like broadside of his spear, kind of like pushing them away like as gently as he can, trying to get them away from it. And people will, though they'll kind of resist at this point. Like I said, there's like enough guards have shown up and enough people have left that they can like effectively create a perimeter. Especially now as this the same Minotaur person you saw from earlier is now fully in control of the situation and is trying to like actively keep everybody from like starting like a big old riot. And they keep saying, like, settle down, nothing to see here, move along, go back to your homes, everybody.
If they try pushing me away, I'm gonna be like, I'm with them!
So long as you say that you're with them, this one specific guard will let you pass. Like, he'll just assume, like, okay, this is a weird-looking lady with blue skin. I'm assuming the fairy with the badge is probably with them anyways.
But he will just wild shape into a tiny little spider.
Okay. I'm assuming Ava will do something similar. But, yes, at this point, you guys are one of the few people that remains around the thing. And this big old Minotaur will stomp on up to you. Look on down at, I guess, Jack, if Jack is still out and about.
Absolutely.
And will
I am in charge here after all.
You'll kind of get like a big old like huff of like hot kind of like breath in your face, and they'll say, "What on earth are you doing here? What? Why did he leave? Why did he let you go past?"
See, I'm here on official business, and I'll flash the badge very quickly so he doesn't get a good look at it. I'm going to need you to back up, first of all. What are your qualifications for being here?
She'll look at you.
Who are you?
She'll look at you and she'll try to like she'll like look like flabbergasted as though you're like asking her like what her qualifications are. She will. I've got to find her name because for whatever reason it's not. It's not in bold like all my other names are. She will say her name is Tesnim Swift Striker, and she's a cleric of Tempest, and she's sort of like the like head constable and sort of like head priest of this town, and like de facto like in charge person.
Tesnim?
Tesnim. Tesnim.
So she's saying she's the de facto in charge person?
Well, like she'll imply like if people need advice, they come to me. Like I'm like the kind of like end all be all around here. She'll
not
say
anymore.
that
You're not. Jack Spicewing. That's your service. I'm gonna need you to get all these people back. Get them back.
She'll look and she'll gesture that like the only people here now are you and her, and the guards are the only one kind of like within like about 5 feet of the object. And at this point there are still like a bunch of people, but they are thoroughly contained, and they are just kind of like watching things unfold.
Now tell me, has this ever happened before?
She'll shake her head no. But
First
she'll nod.
The orbs don't normally just fall from the sky like that.
She'll look at you like you're fucking insane. Like, yes, orbs don't normally fall from the sky. Are you daft? Like, what? She'll give you this look like orbs definitely don't normally fall from the sky.
While this is going on, can Helio have floated up above it and just kind of like investigating the amber itself?
Yeah, give me an investigation check. Or an arcana check.
I would much rather like Arcana.
So you look at this, and again, you're taken aback by just how like Vesper's investigation revealed something similar. It's like very otherworldly, and its look is very different. How it like it sometimes appears almost as though it's like a liquid. Other times it appears as though it's a solid. Like it almost appears gaseous at one point. It's very peculiar in how it like shifts between different forms very quickly. And it does not seem like. It definitely does not seem like something from this world, like, let alone this plane, like, but, like, even, like, this dimension, anything, it just seems, like, very out of the way and weird. You're not sure if it's, like, from the far realm, or if it's, like, something from, like, it's not something, like, from the Feywild, like, you would know. It's not something, like, from there. You don't know if it's maybe, like, an elemental plane kind of thing, or, like, a divine plane. You're very much at a loss for words. Like, this has to come from somewhere very far out of the way. And obscure, because you can't even begin to identify what this is.
Can Jack take a look at it? Going to see if there's anything religious about it. Can I make a...
Yeah, give me a religion check. When you look at it, you get this kind of sense of, like, holy kind of, like, divine kind of righteousness, and, you kind of, like, maybe hear, like, a voice or two in there, like a whisper or something coming from the thing, but you're not entirely sure, and it might just be, like, the crowd, kind of, like, the loud noises from the crowd might be, tricking your hearing. But, like, you do get
White
this,
fools!
Like... you do get this very big sense of, like, it, like, whenever, even just, like, looking at it, feeling it, being within, like, the kind of glow it lets off, makes you feel, like, very, like, very, like, righteous, it gives you this very, like, good feeling,
Vesper!
What?
Do you want me to crack it open?
No, get a blanket. We're going to cover it up and take it with us.
Can I ask it? Can I get down to the eye and see if it will look at me?
Yeah, you get up close to it, and it will look at you. At this point, it is, since there's only a couple of people within its field of vision now, as it's kind of, like, thoroughly embedded in the ground, it still is looking at each one of you guys like it will dart its vision between each one. But it doesn't, like, give me a insight check. You just get this vibe that it doesn't seem like it's looking for something that it's not finding. Like it's like constantly scanning its surroundings for something that it's not seeing.
Can I speak to it in Primordial that Helio was speaking to it?
You can. And the same, I'll like the same information kind of pops up. Like if you can identify like draconic loan words in Primordial, those words are the ones it seems to understand. But even those, it gives you this kind of like I think I know that word, but like I'm not entirely sure. Like somebody that's like how like Swedish, Norwegian, and Danish are all like this, like they're very similar, and like
yes.
One can understand the other. It's like that kind of thing where like it seems to like understand, but like not entirely.
But we don't hear anything back from it.
Absolutely nothing.
Nothing. Okay, well, in Primordial, since I got insight that it's looking for something, I'll just let it know that I'll ask it what it's looking for. We can help you find it if you let us help.
It doesn't seem to understand.
Yeah. Well, I'm just trying. Does anyone have something to cover it with for the time being?
I said get a blanket. Does no one listen to me?
One of the guards will eventually locate the big black tarp that they were trying to throw over it in the first place, and they'll throw it over the top of it. And as they do, even though the tarp is very thin, like it's definitely not like a great, piece of thing. Like, you wouldn't think it would stop this, like, big beacon of light from shooting out of it. But the second they cover it, it seems like the whole thing kind of, like, goes completely dark, even though you're sure that, like, a light this bright would shine through it. The whole thing goes dark, and seems to almost, like, kind of, like, shut off, like, if you turned off my computer right now, all the lights would just flicker out. Like, that's the kind of thing that you get.
Okay, so at least it's no longer a beacon for something possibly dangerous. Finch, reduce and enlarge can only work on creatures, or can it work on objects?
Where is my spell? It works on objects.
Could we reduce the object so at least we can pick it up easily? And then I don't know if the town has a safe place that we could store it for the time being, and then we could try to figure out what it is.
If you guys are discussing this openly, the Minotaur lady will interject, but if you're not, then I won't bother.
I mean, yeah.
Okay, she'll like speak up and she'll say, "You are not casting any spells on this thing anytime soon. As far as I'm aware, this thing, whatever it is, it's property of Red Larch, and you aren't going to get your glubby little hands all over it."
Excuse
Who
me?
does?
I'm sorry, who does this person think they're speaking to?
She'll, again, gesture to herself. The Minotaur lady from the temple, pretty much in charge around here, doesn't know who you people are. Definitely sure that you guys shouldn't be...
formally in charge around here.
Definitely sure that you guys are not supposed to be touching a big thing that just fell from the sky. And she, like you'll see... Give me an insight check, Finch.
Ooh, insight. That. Yep.
She seems like she's very, like, frustrated. Like, she's not appreciating you guys, like, people she doesn't know from out of like, people that clearly are not from here, butting in and trying to, like, look at this thing.
Obviously, you're out of your depth here, so perhaps you should allow us to do our job. That is why we're here. We're investigating strange occurrences happening. There's a sort of, no, not to alarm you, but a merging of realms that will be happening soon. I take it you're not an expert in that sort of thing, are you? No?
She'll look at you and she'll, like do, like, the kind of, like, face palm thing, and she'll say, I'm a cleric. I have to know these things. Listen, I can help. It's just...
yes, cleric. As he does some air quotes. Yes, I've heard of your kind.
I've got to see a list of cleric spells really quick. I gotta see
Goodness.
I've got to see
Finch.
what kinds of, like, ways she has to subdue you.
Yeah.
Finch, do the thing.
Maybe. Right. Ma'am, we're clearly, my partner here is unique personality.
Good for nothing?
I'm sorry. Excuse me.
Let's just.
I'm sorry.
Did
everyone forget this badge that I'm holding?
You're a cleric. You clearly represent this town, and you're worried about its people. So are we. We're on a quest to investigate these things by orders of powers higher than the likes of here. We just want to figure stuff out and make sure everyone's safe.
She'll, like, look at you and, as though she's, like, rolling her own insight check, she'll say, like, "You're almost as slimy as Thaylorn. Ugh."
How dare
Just
you
call me?
speak to Finch like that?
She'll say,
If anything, I'm not slimy.
Listen. We can talk. We can work on this, but, like, you have to know your place around here. I'm in charge. I get the final say. You're not casting a spell on this thing unless you clear it by me first."
Okay,
Finch,
well...
With all due respect, unless you can provide some proof of higher authority, in this moment all we have to go off is the townspeople words, which is
I'm just gonna go
relevant.
ahead and...
Not much.
Sleep? Okay. Give me 1 second. I have to double check something.
Are there not guards around here?
There are guards. There are at this point I would say maybe like 8 or 9 guards.
Can I
Can I get
minor
everybody?
illusion try to disguise it so it doesn't look like he's doing anything?
What sort of
It's like
illusion?
DM
Yeah, I guess
I wanna
I'll
just,
allow it.
Make it look like so he's not moving.
Yeah, I guess you can do that. Helio's small. You can do that.
For Jack.
I have to see how much health. I have to
finish
to
killing
figure
a
out-
fairy.
I have to figure out. I don't have a sheet for this person ready because I didn't think you guys were actually going to fight this lady, but I have to figure out how much health she might potentially have if you're going to fight her. Give me 1 second to figure this out because I do not have it available.
It's the classic. You get everything planned, and then the players happen.
I mean, I did expect.
Concession
I
of-
expected. I expected some tension with her, but I didn't expect a sleep spell. I'm gonna be honest. I didn't expect a sleep spell. I expected she was not gonna be the most popular character, but I was not expecting like open, maybe not violence, but open spell casting. This soon. This soon. I was not. I mean.
Ooh.
Let me just go here. Actually, so what? Let me. I just need to see. So I can sort this out in a second. So that'll be. Alright. Come here, calculator. Alright, and then I need to know.
How long does sleep last?
I think a while.
I think it's an hour. Or until they wake up. There you go. No, 1 minute.
Oh,
shit.
1 minute.
Just enough time for us to get this thing and get the hell out of here.
Okay. Okay. I forgot if it's.
We're gonna have a dragon after us. We're gonna have this minotaur cleric lady after us. We're gonna have the Zentarum after us.
Sure.
Damn it, Helio. Okay, we need a plan. What's our plan? Are we telling the guards she got drunk and something was wrong with her? Or saying she just had like a...
Is that right?
She was so stressed out she had an aneurysm?
An aneurysm.
Oh, obviously.
Just so
she's had
that
too
I'm
much to
so
drink.
just so that I'm clear, really quick. On a level up for a cleric or for like any class, you get your hit die plus your con mod, right? At each level.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
All right. Well, then sleep's
Combat
not.
also changes... Never mind.
Oh shit! She actually has more health than I thought. No,
Oh.
she'll. How much did you do with your sleep?
57.
57. She, as far as I'm aware, if I'm doing my back of the envelope math correctly, which I think I am, I don't think she'll go to sleep with that much. It's just slight, but she will succeed.
I have a
So if I
question.
just cast Shatter on her, it'll be enough, right?
No.
No.
Don't cast spells that will harm her. But I have a clarifying question in terms of sleep, because it says creatures within 20 feet of you of a point you choose within a range.
Oh, 20 feet of a
Are-
point. Oh, so it goes from
are-
lowest to high.
Yeah.
I forgot. Oh, well, then you'll put a lot of people to sleep. I have to figure out how much health commoner and a guard have.
Oh boy.
God damn it.
Commoners generally have, I think, is it 8?
That's what I
think
thought.
It's 8,
I think it's 7. Commoner...
Here's the thing.
Hit points
If they all
4.
fall as-
Okay, never mind. All right.
If they all
Way off.
fall asleep, we can blame it on the thing, and then we can like offer our services to help with it. If we help wake these people and just be like, "Hey, we're good people. We're just, here to."
So when you try to cast sleep on her, 14.25 people in the crowd go to sleep instantly.
Holy crap. While all
God
that's
damn it.
going on, can Helia have snuck under the tarp real fast?
Yeah, you can sneak under the tarp. You have to be careful when you're under there
Just-
because it's like you're
Finch is
right up
still-
against the thing, but
Using minor illusion to make it look like he's just sitting there, bobbing up and down.
Okay.
I would like to cast levitate on the object.
Oh,
we'll get to that in a second.
Uh-oh.
So I'm gonna see if she can make me an Arcana check to figure out what the fuck just happened. I have to make her a sheet because she's not. She's not gonna let like 14 people just randomly collapsing kind of go unnoticed.
Completely fair.
Oh, I've got to make this person a stat sheet because I feel as though she's going to become very important very soon here.
I will be right back. You're gonna do
Roll
that,
her
so I'll
a
be right back.
D20.
what's the highest level spell that you can do, Finch?
She won't notice. Okay.
Oh, hey. So, as
Fine.
she's not noticing that, I'm gonna go ahead and cast another spell on her.
Oh, goodness.
Can Finch try to just grab him so he does it?
No, it's good. We're good.
Suggestion. Okay. Concentration up to 8 hours. Wisdom saving throw. All right.
Wisdom save on a cleric?
Sure.
Finch would like to...
Oh, she's fine.
Son of a bitch.
Uh,
Well, I'm tapped.
the suggestion. The target must make on a failed save. The suggested action. What was the action you were going to suggest? Just so that I
was
know.
gonna tell her, you should go ahead and let us take this item and go about our business.
All right. She definitely knows you use magic on her, and now she's not happy. As if she was happy before, now she's very not happy.
Well, I mean,
And I've got to find a list of cleric spells because I've got to see what she's going to be doing to you guys because she's going to be doing something.
Finch is going to charm the guards around her.
Give me a second here. I'm going to see really
you
quick.
know, this would have been wonderful had it worked.
Not to not
You
to
could've
add to the
put in
chaos.
Uh-oh.
Does cutting words
But
work
can
on
Liddy have
saves?
been doing something
Oh,
during
cutting
all of
words
this
work
as a
on
spider?
saves. Cutting words work on saves.
Yes,
Dang.
it does.
Can I cutting words to her?
Yes, you can cutting words her. I will note that the 18 in chat does not have her wisdom modifier added onto it.
Of course.
So, if that
Which
changes
is
your...
Probably a lot.
Is it a D6 or you're higher than that, right?
Well, she only has like 3
Oh,
levels in
that
Bard.
damn multi-classing.
She is a wizard first and foremost, but I still wanted that bard rest stuff.
Are you gonna give me that? Give me the,
Oh, shit. Do I roll?
Yeah, you can roll the d6.
I'm back.
Welcome back.
What is happening?
Fuck.
No.
Yeah,
That's a
no,
good shot.
she's
Good shot.
she's still mad. She'll cast something on her. So she's got a big old great axe that she has like strapped to her back. She'll kind of like grab hold of it in one hand and will cast some kind of magic on it and will kind of like flare up in this kind of like yellow kind of like arcane light, and she'll look at you, Jack, specifically, and will say, "I do not like it when people try to do things to me that I am otherwise not comfortable with, friend. Perhaps..."
Well, you were not cooperating with an official investigation. I mean, I did what I...
Can Finch grab Jack at this point?
Yes.
I did what I am
wanna get in
legally
front of Jack
obligated to do
and
here.
Test him. Test him.
Test them.
Yes. Look. He is an asshole. We don't really like him at all either.
I'm
But-
sorry. Excuse me.
Just
Finch,
currently
cover his
holding
mouth.
Jack if he's allowing it to cover his mouth.
Sure.
Cover his Look, he's got an ego problem. All we wanted to do was just to be a part of this to help. We just came in a few hours ago, and we saw the crash. We've been doing nothing but helping people through every town we've been through, so we thought that we could be a part of this as well. He's got a badge that he loves to show around, so just Please spare him. And
Give
we'll
me-
let
Spare me!
Still covering his mouth.
Okay, all right. I'll get to my under the tarp people in a second. Under the over the hedge people in a second. I'll get to you guys because there's two of you now. I'll get to my over the hedge people in a second. But she'll put her weapon down, like she'll kind of like with like the ease, like almost like harsh nag. She'll kind of just like smash it into the ground and it will kind of embed itself in the ground. And she'll look at you, Vesper, and she'll say, "So long as you keep that little nuisance under control, then perhaps you can aid in this investigation." But
trust me, we've been working on that for a very long time.
But
At
she
this
will
point,
clarify.
the other nuisance.
Yes, it's at this point when the other nuisance kicks in. She'll clarify that if anything else happens, she's going to throw you guys out of town, or at the very least attempt to. But under the tarp people, hey, you're under a tarp. You're very close to the thing. Helio, you wanted to cast Levitate on it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Liddy, before Helio does that, give me a con save.
Oh boy. Oh no, I don't know what spider modifier is. That's not gonna be great.
Oh.
Um,
You got this, Spider Liddy.
Oh no, does
spider
that mean that
con
Liddy,
is
like,
-1.
does that mean
Oh,
she
shit.
just,
It
like,
goes off of your
reverts back to her gnomey self under the tarp?
Depends on how bad I do.
Yeah, it depends.
Real bad.
Real bad. Okay, so yeah, you go to touch it, and you put your hand on it, and it's a very similar experience. You touch it, and you have this like
As a spider. I'm doing this as a spider, so my little spider
yeah, your
leg
little
is just
spider
like,
leg is touching it. You have a vision of something very heroic that Lydia's done. Tell us something. What is something heroic Lydia may have done in her life
Oh.
at some point, or something she has
Let's
done during this
see.
campaign? Whatever comes to mind.
I think at some point Liddy rescued like some baby animals of some sort. What's a cute fluffy animal?
Me.
Some baby birds that were, gonna be eaten by a big scary animal. And it was like the first thing that she did on her own, sort of in the tribe. Like she kind of probably snuck out from under her parents' supervision and managed to fend off the predator all by herself.
All right, I like it. So you'll have like a flashback, like a very vivid, as though you're there, like in that moment. You're like 100% back there. Like you can feel things, you can see things, you can smell things. It is like a perfect recreation of that moment, and you are. It's like that, but it's almost like glorified, as though like somebody's telling like a big bardic story of it, and you're living it. Like you're not just like like beating back like a bear or something. You're beating back like this big like tentacled awful beast, and you're fighting it back, and it feels like just as real as it did in the moment. And you kind of like have this once it kind of fades away, you have this like very big overwhelming sense of like accomplishment, and again like heroism and valor and justice, and you've only heard tales of this Lady Agatha that they've been traveling with, but this sounds about like what she was on, like the high she was on, about 24/7 365. And once that happens though, you kind of like have this like searing headache, and you take 21 damage. That was an incredible roll, by the way. Holy flying Jesus. 5, 5, 6, 5. Ooh, boy.
Oh boy.
It's a
Okay, well she
good
bamps
chunk.
back into a gnome under the tarp.
All
Small
right.
enough to like fit under the tarp though, so that nobody notices her.
You would probably be,
Because it's
you'd be
4
small
foot,
enough to be under the tarp, but there definitely is like a noticeable lump that appears under the tarp. Like a noticeable lump grows from the tarp.
You can only illusion so much.
The question is Tessnum distracted enough by us
Yes,
you know,
she
giving
doesn't.
her
She so far
attention
does not
to-
notice like the lump that
Okay.
grows under the tent. Like you guys might notice this because there's more of you than there is her. You know, you guys might notice that like a big old lump appears underneath this tarp, but she doesn't see. Like she seems more preoccupied with like giving Jack the stink eye. Helio, how much weight can your levitate lift?
It can lift 500 pounds.
All right, and so up it goes. I guess gradually at first, the tarp begins to lift from the ground, and the object begins to kind of ascend into the air. And if the guards had the crowd under control initially, they don't now. They definitely don't now.
How much does Liddy weigh?
Lift Liddy too.
just to flex, just lift both.
Probably, yeah, she doesn't weigh a lot. She's tiny.
Like 50 pounds.
I'll grant you. You don't have to check
Less,
Liddy's
I
weight.
think.
I'll grant you that you can lift Liddy and the thing.
I have it
Well, I was
somewhere
just
around
gonna- I
like
didn't know if
35
Liddy
or
was
40
still
pounds.
holding on. I would pick her up as the pixie myself and just like lift up.
Oh, if you're trying to
They're
pick.
all
Because I can carry like just under 100 pounds or something.
That's a strong fairy.
Uh-huh.
I cannot.
Or something like that. Let me calculate it out real fast.
I'll spare you the calculations. I'll say you can carry Liddy. Liddy's small, and Liddy travels light. I'll say you can carry Liddy, especially if Liddy is like willing to change into like a hedgehog or something, a hedgemahog.
Yeah. As soon as you like go to pick her up, she'll like shrink into probably not a hedgehog because they're prickly and you don't want to be holding on to that. But like she'll turn into like a little snake and just kind of like wrap around you as best she can.
There you go. Yeah, you
And
can help lift Liddy up into the air.
Then he'll fly up and over the thing and put Liddy down on the top.
All right. Are you going to remove the tarp as this thing is beginning to ascend, or are you going to keep the tarp on it?
No, we're gonna keep the tarp on it because I'll have to push up and I'll have to push against it to move it side to side, and I don't want to. After seeing what it did to Vesper and then Liddy, I don't want to touch it.
That's true. You probably did see Spider Liddy just kind
Yeah.
of like
Yeah, get like like a bug touching like one of those bug burner
Zappers.
things. Yeah,
Zapper,
bug
bug
zappers. You know,
zapper.
just, and then like fizzling away for a second. Yeah, so it begins to ascend, and like I said, if the guards had the crowd under control, like, and maybe people were just beginning to settle down, like, okay, all right, it's a thing that landed in our town. We live in a world where magic is real. I guess this is fine. You know, people are just starting to go back to their houses, and then it starts to levitate. You know, it gets 1 foot off the ground, and people aren't really noticing. You know, like, was it always that tall? 2 feet? Oh, it's definitely taller. 3 feet? It's up in the air now. Like, it's fully up in the air. And now at this point, like, people start like shoving the guards out of the way, like trying to get up to it. And Tessnum, before attempting to do something of her own, will look at you guys as though you guys have something to do with it. My outside the tarp group.
Within 6 seconds, it can be 20 feet in the air. But
Finch is going to just try to calm the crowds down with music. I don't know if Song of Rest counts here, but just that kind of soothing music.
I can stretch Song of Rest to work for that. You can settle the crowd back down.
Does that mean that she's putting Jack down?
Oh no. Yes, sadly, it is
Yes.
her violin.
Give him to me. Give him to me. I'll
She
hold
gives
on
it
to him.
Vesper.
I am
Vesper,
not.
catch.
throws him like a football.
But as it gets about 20 feet in the air, I guess. Does she have any? Does she have Dispel Magic? She might try to Dispel Magic on it.
Shit. Helio, how bad do you want to get this thing out of here?
I mean, I'm already high up. Wait, is she
Message beneath
casting
the breath.
Dispel Magic?
I'm not sure. I'm gonna make her an Arcana
Helio,
check to see if she would attempt it.
You have a plan here.
If she attempts to dispel me, I'm going to attack her.
Oh God!
well,
Okay.
Gust
Here
of
we go.
wind.
oh boy.
Finch gust of wind that thing just out of here.
So I don't think that passes my. What is the spell save? The spell.
I've got to add her modifier. That doesn't include her modifier. I've got to calculate
okay.
out her modifier. I think her. So that's she's just making an Arcana check to see if like I'm just making her an Arcana check to see if she thinks like that would do something to this thing.
Right, because I don't think she knows that Helio is under it casting a
She
spell
definitely
on it.
doesn't know, which is why I'm not entirely sure if she would cast a spell magic on it, which is what I'm trying to figure out. If her mindset would just be like, I mean, I could just try a dispel magic to keep it here. Or if she would be like, it's probably nothing. I'm gonna... that's a tough ruling. I'm gonna say she will try to dispel it. I'll say that she will try to dispel it, because it hasn't levitated yet, I think. It definitely hasn't levitated, and things don't just levitate without magic. I think that she'll try to try to at least like dispel magic on it to stop it from levitating. I think is the move. Because
Do
at
I
this
see
point,
her attempting to do something?
are you outside the tarp?
No.
Yeah, I said I
You're
flew up and I
under.
was on top of it.
Then yes, you do. You'll see her like looking at it, and prepping a spell.
I get gust of wind off.
You can get gust of wind off.
I just want to shoot them 60 feet horizontal to what looks like the least populated area of town.
I don't know if that'll help you. The spell does have a range of 120 feet, but I will let you do it. As it shoots off, I would say maybe like off towards the Somber Hills this way. It flies off into the air, 60 feet. However, that is still, I would say, within the range 120 feet of the Dispel magic. So she is going to try and dispel it. What level is it?
It is a second level spell.
Alright. Are you gonna, like, are you gonna attack her before she casts it, or are you gonna wait to see what she does?
He's going to attack her to attempt to interrupt the spell casting, but he doesn't have counter spell, so he can't counter spell it. So
Are you
he's
gonna just like
straight up attack her?
Okay. Give me an attack then before I do anything else here.
Now I am 60 feet away now.
Yeah, you're probably like, I don't know, using the Pythagoras theorem, you're probably a bit further away, but yeah, 60 feet. I don't do maths good, so yeah, 60 feet.
Me neither.
Yeah, Pythagoras would probably say you're like 61.35 feet away or some bullshit, but I'm not
60
Pythagoras.
up, 60 to the right.
Yeah, yeah.
Straight on till morning.
Follow the door.
That's a bit of
He
to all like two
cast
people that
Mind
watch
Strike
these.
at her.
Okay, to all two people that watch this, I do want. I know my friend occasionally watches these, and he actually does math. I do want him to do if he is watching this session. I want him to do the math, like the Pythagoras theorem. If it was 20 feet off the ground and then pushed 60 feet away, how far away was it from Helio? I gotta know, or I guess how far away was Helio from the original site of the crime? Gotta know. Historians want to know.
80 feet up, 60 feet to the right.
Pythagoras theorem calculator. Let's see. Let's do some maths.
Value is
60,
20.
20. Helio is 63.2. Wow, I was actually surprisingly close to my stupid guess. 63.24555. So yeah, Helio, you're 60 feet away. So Mind Spike has to make me a Wisdom save. I'll say if she fails this Wisdom save, then she won't cast it, or like she'll maybe like hesitate on casting it.
The DC is 15.
15. She will. Do clerics get a bonus to their Wisdom saves?
Yes, they're
You're
proficient.
Probably.
Proficient.
The
Then
save?
she'll beat it. She'll beat it if she's proficient.
This
She'll
be
beat
a
it.
save?
Yes, it's a save.
This is just a.
Cleric save proficiencies are wisdom and charisma.
All right, then she will
Wait,
beat it.
I
She'll beat it.
thought-
Okay.
All right.
Does it fall from the sky then?
I thought it was just a straight up ability check with your spellcasting modifier.
Well, so that's the roll right there is what she has. Her spellcasting
That
modifier.
was for Mind Spike.
Yeah, that's for my. So
Oh.
yeah.
Sorry, I think it's
so
something else.
her spellcasting modifier, I've got penciled in just back of the envelope. I've got it at 4. And then if that's proficiency added onto it, she'd have a 16 total. As far as my math, I think, is correct on that. I think.
It doesn't say plus proficiency, so.
If she's the same level as us, her proficiency would be 3. So.
Oh well, then she's gonna be So then, she'll definitely pass if it's a +3. She'll definitely pass. All right. She will not is on a failed save. What happens on a successful
I just
save?
know her location.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
you'll know where she is. But nothing will happen. And she is going to attempt to counterspell, or not counterspell, but the dispel magic.
Yeah.
Levitate is a 2nd level spell, so she doesn't need to fight against your check, right?
Nope. It just falls.
All right. And so it was. It falls to the ground.
Oh no.
Over about here.
So does Liddy the snake, possibly bamfing back in gnome form.
Liddy's on Helio, and Helio can fly.
I just went up.
Oh, I thought you dropped her off on the tarp.
No, you're
I was
round
putting
around
her
him.
on top of the tarp with him, so essentially they were both on top of the tarp.
Yeah, it will land pretty much just as it started, and it will kind of plop itself into the ground, creating a nice, a second big old crater in the ground that it will snugly fit into. And everybody that was in the market square will begin making a beeline, running, sprinting for where this thing is. People will be like, "Oh, I want to see, I want to come, I want to see it."
If the levitate spell ends, it floats down.
Well, then it will land on the ground without a problem. It will land safely on the ground. Tarp intact will still land on the ground, and everybody will begin sprinting over.
Another levitate.
Are you just gonna keep levitating it?
Maybe. It's 60 feet. He's gonna look at Liddy.
I almost feel like I should do a turn order for this because I want to see, because I don't know how far I'd have to resize this map correctly, and then I'd just see what a minotaur. I think that's 35 per turn unless she's sprinting. I might do that. I might resize it so that way I can get a proper. Because if you guys are gonna try to escape with it, if that's the plan, I just want to double check. If the plan is to escape with the thing, then. Escape. If the plan is to escape, I think we'll end the session here, and I'm going to rescale this map in the meantime, and make her a character sheet, and then do an escape.
We did it, guys.
That's fair.
The people who are running after the eye, are they citizens or are they soldiers or are they both?
I mean, everybody's everybody that
people fell asleep for a minute. Has it been a minute?
I would say at this point it's probably been about a minute, but I mean there are more than 14 people gathered around. There's a pretty big group of people, and there's guards as well, and there's also this Minotaur lady. Everybody's. I keep fucking moving this damn image. Everybody is just sprinting to the hills to go and see it.
If that's the case, I don't know what D&D rules are for sprinting. Or, I guess, yeah, actually, no, that makes sense. Basically, I want to, before people actually, start making their way, or if I can beat them over there, get in front of them, and I just hate the fact that there are so many, people wanting to get to this thing. Tell Tessnem to just help me maintain the crowd, and I want to cast color spray to blind people and just try to intimidate them to be
no.
We're gonna start a riot.
Oh god! All right, yeah, I think that's what we're gonna do. I think I'm gonna call the session here. We're gonna call it. I think we're gonna call it here.
We broke him.
We're gonna call it. In the meantime, I'm gonna make her a character sheet. I'm going to resize this map to properly be scaled. And see, I already had a plan for this area. I won't spoil it because you'll probably still encounter it, but I already had a chase planned for this area, but I guess we'll do another chase. I guess this will just be the town of chases.
Oh god.
But I think
she didn't respect Jack's authority. I mean,
I guess that
Not
that was
very many people do, Jack. That's the thing.
that was the inciting
The
incident.
only people who ever have were the red caps.
that's true.
So
That's
you need to
accurate.
work on your delivery.
For sure.
Because I was like, if we could at least just seem like we work with her, we could always just come back and steal it later.
Well, that's just wrong.
Well,
We're not barbarians now. Come on.
Right? We just bully people until they give us our way. That's how it works.
I feel like there's a word for that.
I'm neutral good. I ain't lawful.
Government.
Sure. What is Jack? I don't even remember. What is he? Oh, he's chaotic. Good. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah,
So, you know,
chaotic
I'm
good.
trying
So
to do this for the
such.
good of the people, but I ain't gonna follow no law. I do what I want.
Helios chaotic neutral, but that's only because people frown upon the evil ones.
Oh, you would have been chaotic evil.
I would have probably been more neutral evil.
Man, I'm just now realizing how. So this is like a rough. I'm gonna do the proper scaling next week, but this is 60 feet on this map, like roughly. So like.
Oh
this-
my good
2
lord.
feet?
That's 60 feet.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, because if you could look down here, I did a very rough job. This is roughly 50 feet. If you look in the bottom, like the scale on the bottom left, that's about 50 feet.
Wow.
So
Just insane.
yeah, you guys are about here.
Dang, we did not get far.
To get out of town, you'll need 460 feet. Oh boy.
Oh boy.
Well, I was wondering if I levitated it and was holding on to it, could I dimension door out?
I was gonna say, does anyone have dimension door?
I do, but
How big is
I
it, I
don't
guess?
know if
You'd have to
how
link me Dimension Door before I clear that. I think yes. I like the idea, and I probably am gonna say yes, even if Dimension Door says no. I'm probably gonna say yes because I like that idea. But
well,
I want to see what Dimension Door says before I
it
teleport
says
yourself.
how much I can carry. But if it's lighter and I'm holding on to it, it's
My ruling will be
technically
then.
carrying?
My ruling will be, you can Dimension Door with it. So I'm assuming the carrying it is like at sea level. Could you lift it with your hands? You know, like if it was at sea level, no magic was on it. It was just a normal like piece of stone. Could you lift it into the air with your hands? The answer is no. So I don't think you could Dimension Door with it then. But if you were to like cast like Enlarge Reduce on it or something, and then grab it and then run like Dimension Door out of there, then I would allow that. Like that'd be fine. Or if you could find some other way to make it like lighter in some way. Levitate, I guess, but I'd have to think about that one. I would say tentatively no on Levitate. If you could find some other way to make it lighter, I would probably allow that. But with Levitate, because it's only like technically lighter, it's not physically lighter. That's my. I'm putting the gavel. Psh, psh, psh. That's my ruling.
That's fine. If things get dangerous, I'll get Liddy and I out of there.
Man, here I was thinking this was going to be a peaceful shopping session. Here I was thinking. I was thinking.
You're the one who gave us the thing in the middle of the night, which prevented us from any opportunity to.
Listen. I thought it was. Never mind. I had different plans. Listen. This session was planned around like being a very goofy shopping session. Like I had a very fun shopping session planned, which we'll probably get to at some point because I really like some of the ideas I came up with for this session.
If we don't get kicked out of this town.
I mean,
Oh, we're getting kicked out.
Yeah, we're gonna
that's
get kicked
happening.
The next town.
the next town that has a shop area. I mean, there's still time. There's still time. You guys have a whole week now to figure out ways to reconcile.
Group hallucination.
Group hallucination. We got
None of it
him.
happened. Knock all
It
of
was
them
all
out.
a dream.
Take over the town, and it becomes our town now.
It's like Mario 2 where you guys wake up at the end. It was all a dream. Oh boy! Now you do it for real. Play the game on New Game Plus to find the real ending.
Yeah, we don't want this town. It smells like Minotaur.
Smells like Minotaur. That might be the session.
Oh, yes.
Smells like Minotaur.
Mhm.
I don't know. There was another one. I don't remember what it was. There was another thing that somebody said that I was maybe going to make the session title, but I don't remember what it was, and I didn't write it down.
That's what we need. We need in one of my servers. We have a what's it called? A quotes
channel.
channel.
Quotes
Yeah.
channel. We had that on my other D&D server, but I never remembered to update it. But if other people are willing to update it, I will add a quotes channel because I'm terrible.
The first thing
at it.
is somebody lubed the frog in this one. I don't know where that comes from. I don't remember that, but it's there.
Oh boy. All right. Well, yeah. Next week we'll do a escape from Red Larch scene, I guess, and then we'll go from there? Question mark. Unless, of course, at some point you guys in the week figure out a way that you can spin this as a don't worry, guys. It was all a fun prank. Fun prank. Remember that time we were pranking you guys? It was all a prank.
It's just a prank,
We're gonna have
bro.
to throw Helio under the
Bros.
bus.
I mean, as far as Tessnum knows, she doesn't know that it was us who levitated.
Yeah.
it
So
and
far,
moved
she
it
doesn't
away.
know. So far,
No.
there is
So
plausible
we can
deniability.
We can still get her to be like, okay, you can be in charge. We'll assist with our abilities, but when she's
And we
not
won't
looking,
try
we
to
just-
hijack your
we swipe
meteor
it
again.
and we GTFO.
I like that GTFO part. I mean, Jack does not understand why this Minotaur isn't just.
Giving over control.
Yeah, obviously.
Honestly.
Like,
Honestly.
this makes sense.
Helio takes it as a personal offense that she dispelled his magic.
Oh, yeah.
Oh no. Oh no.
You
She
done
just wants
goofed,
people
kid.
to not die.
Yeah, her whole I mean, like, so I didn't write like a whole thing for her, but her whole thing is that she's like, as far as like it is basically she's cautious and she just wants people to like not be dead. She just wants to make sure this thing isn't like fucking crazy before she like lets people like tinker with it.
I'm pretty sure this is the most action Red Larch has ever seen, really. So, let her have this one for a little bit, and then we can just, just do a little swiping and just
And
get
then
out.
we can just storm sphere her.
She's a Tempest cleric, man.
I don't know what that is, but I'm down
Is
for
she?
it. Is
He
she?
said she's a Tempest cleric, right?
No, she's a cleric of Tempest, not a
Of
Tempest cleric.
Oh,
Okay.
cleric of Tempest.
Well, either way, I can make it so that she can't
Well,
be immune. So, Helio is very upset. I don't know why. I mean, she didn't really do anything.
She did enough.
oh boy. Well, next session we'll kill the innocents, we'll burn the village, and we'll have a fun time.
Sounds about right.
I will see you all later.
But oh hey, wait, before you go, slow down, everybody. Hold your horses. We have to discuss holiday scheduling. Slow down.
Ah.
Sure.
Ha ha ha, slow down. You thought you were safe. You thought you could hide and cower in fear. No! I am going to hit you with the biggest problem that comes with D&D. No, it is not burning the innocents. It is scheduling. So, hey, the holidays, they're coming. And oh boy, aren't we all ready to celebrate some of that good old Jesus? Love him.
Oh,
Love
it's
that boy.
Christmas
I loved when he
Friday.
did that stuff. So, hey, next week, we're going to have the session as normal because it's the 17th. And unless you guys are having Christmas early or something, the plan is, so long as people can make it, 17th we're going to do.
Yes.
24th.
Make it.
Okay, good to know. So long as 4 people can make the session, we're going to do it. That's
Okay.
like that's the goal. Christmas Eve, we're not going to do.
What?
So just to recap, 17th we're going to do 100% for sure, unless less than, if 4 people can make it, we'll do it. If less than 4 people, like 4 players, if 4 players can make it, we'll do it. If less than 4 are going to be able to show up, then we won't do it. I'll try to announce it someday before, so that way we know like if we're going to have it or not. Christmas Eve, there will not be a session. I will not be here. I'll be here at my house, but I won't be on Discord. So the 24th we will not be doing any D&D. That'll be Christmas Eve. We'll all have a fun holiday. New Year's Eve, I'm not entirely sure on. I'm also leaning towards taking a 2-week break. Because I think a lot of people will have plans for New Year's. I don't necessarily have plans for New Year's, but I think a lot of people do. So I'll do like I'll put the feelers in the water and see what we're feeling. But my gut is telling me that that's probably going to be.
But I will get murdered.
Yeah. So
I cannot. I will be unavailable.
Then I think that settles it. I think
I was going to finish that and say drunk.
So, so I think the move will be we will not be playing on Christmas Eve. We will not be playing on New Year's. So the last session we'll have for 2 weeks will be on the 17th. Be there, be square, and then the next session will start New Year, New Year, New You, New Year, New You. We'll start on the 7th of January. Will be the 17th, then the 7th. We're going straight to the 7th. So I'll try to remind everybody because. I mean, listen, man, I suck at schedules. So if I were you guys, I would probably forget. So I'll try to remind everybody and keep everybody on the same page. There will still be D&D things. I'll trickle out some
random fun fact.
Random fun fact.
My parents' anniversary is on New Year's Eve, and so is my dad's parents. Their anniversary.
Wow!
And it wasn't planned. Because apparently he didn't know that.
Wow! But fun coincidences aside, I will keep everybody posted. There will still be some things that will happen during the break. Everybody's going to be getting at least 1 or 2 like tide you over D&D things. That I don't know if they'll require responses yet. I know Finch, one of them for you is going to be further clarifying about things. But the rest of you, I'm not entirely sure yet. But that will all happen during the break. Things will be settled. Things will be good and fresh, and then we'll all come back. Hopefully, fingers crossed. We'll all come back on the 7th and have a good New Year, New You, new session. Sound like a plan, gamers? Sound like a plan?
It does.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, sounds like a plan. I will communicate that with Nia. I'll communicate that with her just to kind of get her on the same page, and I will let you guys know. Hopefully by I just want to point out that this ambience. I don't know how long this ambient track was that I played of like Enchanted Forest ambience. 10 hours. That's why it's still going. I just am impressed that Me6 has been playing it for that long. I started it when we started the session, and it's still going. But I will let Mia know, and I will let you guys know hopefully by Wednesday if we're going to have our next session. And then if we're not, then I'll see you guys all the way in the new year. And if we are going to have it, then I'll see you guys next week, whoever's going to be here, and then I'll see you guys in the new year. But be gone! Think about what you've done. Burn the innocents!
All right. See you guys later.
Thank you.
Bye, everybody. Thanks for playing.
Bye.